What's up, guys? My name is Splattercat, and we're back here at the moon taking a look at our current war setup. This is our definite center of the war room at the moment. We're actually back at war with both Rajak and King Lich. Unfortunately, at the moment, we were forced to break our tentative truce with our pink-skinned amigo over here, or our pink-preferring friend over here. Our pink-preferring patriarch, I don't know, he's not our patriarch. Our patron, nah, it's not gonna work. Anyways, we're back at war with Rajak, so I think we're gonna double our efforts to try and take him out this turn, and I'm gonna see how much I can get done in this episode before my voice decides to just absolutely give out on me. Where we were sitting at, though, we needed to get rid of some monsters, and we had used up most of our turns, so it's gonna be a quick hop, skip, and a jump right here, and we're gonna see what happens. And it looks like Rajak's going to continue forward just dropping spells on us like he always does. He doesn't vary too much in the tactics that he likes to employ versus us. However, I think in this situation we're going to be okay. He doesn't really have a whole lot to come at us with. Really, we have taken off our shirts, we've exchanged our come at me bros, and he has really been tested and found wanting. So we really don't have too much to fear from Rajak at this given moment. Over there, our ogre's starting that first little skirmish with our friends there, and oh my god, that unit right there was far more powerful than I expected. And it looks like we're going to get some neutral enemies down there at the bottom right in the southeast of our base. Our territory, that is. And it looks like the spiders are going to try and gang up on our ogre friend. Hopefully they'll fail. And okay, we're back at our turn right now, so I'm going to take my hero. And first things first is, I think no matter what I do, there we go. We're going to have Lancelise come through there and get rid of him. We're going to have that unit annihilated by the ogre, and we're going to leave this other ogre sitting here. Now, he's weak to elemental magic. He's got a light resistance to kind of ranged attacks and things of that nature. Did my ogre just fart and then push it towards D-Gate? That actually seems like something an ogre would indeed do. Huh. Well, I've never noticed that animation before, but that was definitely crass, and it fell well within the confines of the lore that I'm willing to accept, so that's perfectly fine. Now, our flying Gallius, our second Gallius is done over here, and so I'm going to have him close on the battleground as well with these neutrals over here. And it looks like we may actually be able to almost get something done over here. Can he actually settle yet? No, he cannot. It looks like he's out of movement points, so we'll test it out next turn and see what he can do. I'm thinking that like right here may be good, because then that city will be able to take part in this magical field. He'll get the gold, and he'll also, well, assuming Cold Shore doesn't expand beforehand. If Cold Shore expands first, ooh, I don't really know. Right here, I do want to get that pumpkin patch, and I do want to get that gold. So I may actually make a second city in here. I don't know just yet, but our dwarves are fully healed. Our dwarves, they're fully healed up, so we're going to send them on back to the fray as well. I'd love to get this rat prince leveled up too, because he's actually got a pretty sweet weapon, although he can't wear armor, which is kind of a letdown, so that's unfortunate. We have 3 constructions to take care of right now. The first is at the moon, so this is actually kind of a big deal here. And so let's be very careful about what we choose to build when we go into the moon. First things first, I'm going to take a look at our production, and it looks as though the moon is not producing much money. In fact, it's losing money. It's bleeding money at the moment. The moon does not appear to be producing any food either, and it looks like, yeah, it's pretty much a detriment all around because we're using it for most of our production. Now, that being said, I think it may be in our best interest. God, I don't really know. We've got just about everything built that we can have built here, so I think that's going to work out in our favor. We already have a foundry, it looks like. Let's see here. Yes, the foundry. Barracks. There's a smithy, but we don't have a foundry, do we? Okay, well, it says we have one elsewhere, but I think I'm actually going to put that in right there because I have been doing a lot of production from the moon, and so putting in the foundry is going to help us get masterwork armor, which is substantially better than what we've got already. Additionally, I would like to get some type of production going, considering how much gold we have. We have loads of cash coming in at the moment, but I'm going to let that sit for just a second before we do that. Let's look at the rest of our production. Silverbane appears to be ready to go with something else for us as well, and I'm thinking Silverbane was producing our gold for us. That's what it was. So we may want to actually continue in that vein. So I think what I'll do is let's see if we can find a spot here that's getting a gold bonus. I don't think there are any really. And actually its ability to build goes out pretty far from what I expected, so that's fine. And we'll just put it right there. Wherever we've got extra space, we'll close down the city view, and then we're going to come back and take a look at Mount Worthless here. Mount Worthless looks like it is also in the business of producing cash for us. Lots of banks, lots of nice little money presses going around, although that might depreciate our economy a little bit if we're just pressing out money. So hopefully we're earning it rather than just stamping out new currency. We'll take freebie shots at this tower from Mount Worthless. I'm also going to start putting some rounds on these green bats because I can't just have them strolling into my territory, unfortunately. They do need to go. Now, we do have these units sitting here. These skeleton warriors are sitting here for a reason. As you recall, we're getting bombarded here. And so they're just sitting there to soak the damage because they're absolutely immune to it. Our other options, we have two, it looks like. We have 2 guys that are ready to fire. And the first is going to go straight to there. The second is going to be this tower right here, from what I assume. Hopefully it's not death magic. I love that spell graphic. That spell graphic is just gorgeous. I love the way it looks. I love the color. I love everything about it. I can't wait to use it more. Now, we're going to level up a unit here. Oh, these veterans have leveled. Okay. And so let's give them the endurance resistance buff. And then what we're going to do from there, I think, is start cycling things in to go into a combat situation with, I guess, D-Gate is probably the best logical. Yeah, let's circle around and see if we can just go in circles around this. If we can take D-Gate, then Horrorville, then Crypt Hall, and then come back around to a singular all-alone dread spell, I think that's going to be my strategy. We're going to go swirlies on this one. We're going to go around the drain, which is going to be like this way or this way, depending on whether you're from the US or the Australian regions. Ameristralia, hell yeah. Anyway, so this city over here is still dealing with these champions of Grumgog. They've got the indicator above their heads. Let me check my quests real fast. Do I even have those here? I don't see. I'll find it later. I'll worry about it later. We're just going to worry about killing them for right now. But let's cycle through our group orders and see what we have available. So most of these are just going to be wait and see type deals. Let's see. Oh, I should have had them walk. Damn. And so there, I keep putting them on sentry, but every turn it keeps asking me to do something with them. So unfortunately, I think the sentry mode is not quite working how I would like it to optimally, but that's a turn down. So let's take a look here and see what we can pump out. And once again, with another bombardery, I really don't think, just a little bit of commentary here, I don't think King Lich actually has anything to throw at us. I feel as though he's absolutely depleted from fighting with our snowy neighbor to the north, I guess, our frosty neighbor, our less than warm neighbor. And so our ogre here, let's have him. Okay, we got some spell research ready to go, that's fine. Our hero's gonna take a swipe at this ogre. I'm gonna get the merry men, our hunters and rangers, I think, in range, and just see if we can get a little more damage off on him. I would really hate to end this turn without taking care of this ogre, so hopefully we can get him down. And down he goes. Fantastic. That's exactly what I was hoping for. Now, our ogre has taken the time to rest, and I don't really want to pull too much closer to D-Gate. However, I do think it's probably in our best interest to make sure our siege units are lined up in an organized fashion, just to make sure they can bum rush the gates. Because, honestly, there's something to be said about sucker punch tactics, believe you me. So, let's drop this town right here, I guess. We'll take our chances with everything, and there it is. Rendishire. I don't really know what that... Rendishire. It's not very attractive. Not attractive at all. I'm actually going to rename this one. I'm going to go with something simple. We're going to call it Dale. And whether you want that to be named after Lord of the Rings or Dale Gribble, that's up to you. This could be an extremely paranoid capital that's just always worried about the government. Our flying galliuses. Gallii. Let's see here. What should we do with them? I have another one down here, if I recall correctly. Yes, indeedy. And so we'll bring them up here. I would not be surprised if he starts dropping death magic on them, but it's not going to matter because they're immune to death magic. Now, if he starts throwing fireballs and things around, I may become a little frustrated. Do they have the City Fighter perk? Do they? No, they don't. Okay. Who has the... Somebody here has City Fighter, I thought. No City Fighter? Alright. Well, we've got research complete, and that's fertile land, so we can start casting that around. We've got spell research here ready to go. I think I'm going to stick with... Ooh, I don't even... Yeah, let's go with Harvest Blessing. I'd love to throw that on Boo down here, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Boo is our food production city. That might actually be useful on there. So we might be able to get ourselves a bit more cash. We have a peace offer. Oh, never mind. It looks like our neighbor to the north is begging us once again for assistance, and I am going to oblige because I'm just that sort of guy, and I want him on my side, not against me. We're really already fighting most of the people on the map, so a few more... well, not a few, but one more enemy probably wouldn't be... It wouldn't be exemplary. I guess it wouldn't be optimal. It's not something that I would want to deal with. So it looks like they're just like resting every turn. So we may be able to like pull most of these units back and just have them kind of chill instead of thinking about storming into their territory. I'm just going to leave them here just kind of ready for anything that might happen. I'm going to give him City Fighter because I feel like we're going to be doing a lot of sieges pretty soon. So City Fighter tends to be one of those things that I like to have. Oh good, my Rat Prince can have it too. That's actually really good. And so we'll cycle through one last time. Got another little group of zombies here. We're going to have them shamble away. We're going to have them swing around. Dread Spell is such a high level that I really feel like we're going to have to focus most of our efforts on it if we actually want to get it taken care of. Now, we are grouped up right here, which is leaving us a little bit exposed to the possibility of an AoE. But damn the torpedoes, straight ahead. We're going to go into this ridiculous Maginot Line style and just charge it. We're going to go Blitzkrieg mode here. And so our wolves are moved. Who else? Oh, we got to move these ladies here. These ladies as well, I'm willing to bet, are going to be one of the other units that needs an order. And our lovely, lovely archers. And we'll give them another freebie shot at the towers. And I don't think they're actually getting much XP anymore now that they're only firing at that tower. But it is what it is. Let's end the turn. And I feel like the gameplay is speeding up on our behalf. I really do feel as though we may be able to actually get this wrapped up in the next, not couple episodes, but I was hoping this would not turn into like a 50 episode Let's Play. But I should have known better. Oh, that's no good. I didn't even think about sea monsters or anything. That actually kind of sucks. Oh well, what can you do? I'm going to try and skip most of these as best as possible. How much damage did he do there? Enough. Enough to hector me a little bit. Alright. So we've captured an ogre den, we got a gnarled staff, greater lands raising, and a bunch of gold. And so our gold supply is even better than it was before. Let's go ahead and just march our ogre straight in and just start dealing some damage on this town. The rangers are going to do bombarding, and he's also going to bombard. Let's bring him up, and can he actually make that shot? No, he cannot. Okay, we'll bring him up to there, and then next turn we'll go ahead and take a shot. And that galleass should be out of the way, I hope. And I was really hoping that that would be a one-shot right there, maybe a crit or something along those lines to make it a little bit easier, but it doesn't appear to be going that direction. Ah well, what can you do? Now we do want to bring our zombies up here just in case, so let's grab them and we'll drag them towards Bel Air. And so, what else do we have to move here? Ah yes, our ultimate siege units right here, our dwarfy little friends, our short-legged stubby amigos. And I'll probably put him like right here or something. Yeah, D-Gate's probably going to go down next turn, so this should work out in our favor. And unless that's DEA Gate, like it's the headquarters of the Drug Enforcement Agency, and then that's all kinds of bad. We're asking for trouble if we're going into that. But anyways, let's take a look, and it looks like we have some construction ready to go here. We can make a Mill of Souls. So how much mana are we producing in Chickenville? Let's see here, 6.9, so the Mill of Souls is going to bump that up to like 10, possibly. And honestly, I don't really, well, let's just keep dotting our periphery here. Let's keep dotting our borders with towers. I said that that was the plan I was going to try and move forward with, and I think that's what I'm going to try and stick to. We've got a trader here who's offering us Oban Oxley's bow, and that's actually a joke of Robin of Locksley, I guess. It's a Robin Hood joke. They've removed the first letter of each name. I am going to buy the artifact because we have such a huge surplus of gold that why not? Maybe we'll get an archer here later on. And why not? Speaking of which, if you guys watch Archer, that's one of my favoritist shows. That show is hilarious. And if you've never watched Archer, you really should. Although adult themes, don't bring your kids. Don't bring your kids to that one. Definitely not a child show. But anyways, we want him to, let's give him the melee resistance. What does he have right now? 105 melee. The diminishing returns on that is going to be pretty brutal, but we'll see how it changes. Yeah, so he only got an 8% resistance there, but he's pretty much indestructible by anything other than magic means at this point. And even magic, well, missile hurts him a little bit. But let's cycle through one more time because I feel like we've got a good rate of play going right now. My voice is feeling strong. It's not crackling out on me like I was expecting it to. That's right, guys. I'm still battling illness. I'm still battling unwellness, and it seems to come and go. It's related to allergies and things, so I really never know when it's going to strike. It just kind of hits me. It hits me like a breeze, and then all of a sudden I'm just completely incapacitated. I can't speak. My throat is just killing me, and it's just so random, and it's really impeding entertaining you fine folks, and that's really kind of a frustration because it has been getting in the way of my production. It really has, and it didn't go to pass the turn like I wanted it to right there. There we are. And so we're going to take a little bit of bombardment there. A little bit there, a little bit up there, just a little bit along the bottom too. I'm not sure what he's doing right there in my territory. If he's deciding to do some kind of ridiculous sneak attack, I am going to become frustrated. Black Cliff has got a little bit of combat going on, but it's not really my problem. And it looks like we have some type of elemental invasion occurring, which makes me glad that I have... Oh, good. It makes me glad, anyways, back to what I was saying. It makes me quite glad that I left things there in the way they were, so at least we have somebody who can fight here. We're going to have the bombardment continue, and I don't know if this is going to go down this turn, but it should be ready to go. Oh, it did go down. Fantastic. And so our borders expand a little further. Now let's take our zombies and we're going to march them up a little ways. They're a little slow. They're kind of, they're not getting the job done. They're falling behind because they're so much slower. It's that stiff joints. It's that rigor mortis, that rigor stiffness. I mean, I have that sometimes, but you know, it impedes waking up in the morning, especially when there's classes. I've noticed it crops up when there's classes to be had. When there's learning to be done, it seems to crop up a lot more, but there's not much more to say about that. Hopefully we can get those Minotaur caves locked down, because that would be a great boon to us. That would help out immensely. And so we've got Harvest Blessing ready to go. We need to select a new spell. Prosperity increases the population growth. Frost Weapon Enchant. I actually think that's probably a good idea. We'll go with Frost Weapon Enchant. Start throwing that on some heroes and things. It's probably not going to help us too much. Well, it's an elemental attack. It'll probably help. We have the option for a trading post, actually. That's pretty cool. So let's take the trading post. I know that we're doing pretty well on all of our resources, but it never hurts to have a surplus. I'm going to cast a fireball, I think, on one of these ogres. So let's put one on him, do a little bit more damage, get him softened up a tad. We decided to let that Gallius rest, which I think is probably the best course of action there. And this whole area is just in cinders. God, if you look, all the buildings are just demolished and destroyed. It's alright though, it's going to work out in our favor. Not so much in Rajac's favor. Rajak is fighting a very, very failing battle. He is definitely riding this. He's riding the failboat right now. We have these wolves right here. I'm just going to sacrifice them to the gods of combat. He's not going to be able to attack there, but we do have the opportunity to fire a bolt, and I think I'm going to swing my veterans down just to sink damage, just in case. We're going to leave those veterans in place, just in case a weird invasion comes from a strange direction. Part of me wants to bring these gents back, which I think I will. And other than that, I think upgrading gear at this point may be a good idea, because we have so much extra money sitting around. So let's go with the Nevril armor. That's actually really expensive. God, we'll save that for these gents right here. Let's give them the Nevril armor, which is going to put them firmly... Oh god, look at those resistances. That is beautiful. That is what I love to see. We've got a final bombardment left, but it's just that right there. We've got 3 level ups to take care of. Many of them are largely going to be due to this invasion we're doing over here. Toft armor? I don't really know what toft means. That's a word I'm unfamiliar with. Let's take a look at his stats and see what's going to help him out the best. So he's got the opportunity to take 35 missile or 15 missile and 30 melee. I think the 30, because that's just a 35 bolt gain, that's a 45 bolt gain, I'm just going to go with that. Just going purely on the amount of numbers, like the absolute value of the numbers being gained there. We're going to bring the zombies up and into position for the assault, because we want them to be all up and ready. We need them to be unstiff. We need them to be flexural. We need them to be nice and flexible. And so we've got these clerics over here who appear to have leveled up by some means. I guess they just kind of tick up. I think I had a bonus actually, like I'm a teacher or something of that nature. We're going to give them the 20% healing power. That's only going to make them go from like an 8 heal to a 9 heal. I don't think that's really going to help that much, but then again, their attack is not so great either. So I don't really, it's basically we can move their attack or their healing up by 1. I'll probably go with the healing, since that's what I was planning on using them for anyways. May as well, 9.6, so I guess we're healing fractions here. We're being very precise. I had a teacher like that in my last semester or so who like would grade things by... You never got like an 83% in his class. You would get an 83.672. Like he would always take things out to like the 3rd or 4th decimal place. I'm like, is that really necessary? Like, does that have to happen? Really? But anyways, we got a few more units to boss around here. We could potentially strike north from here with all of these kind of worthless tier 1 units and just kind of see what happens and hope for the best. I can't guarantee it's going to work out in our favor. It looks like we have another donkey cart over here, so we'll just get them going so that every turn they're going the direction we want them to. I was going to hold off on, well, yeah, let's give them wind walking. So we've got our, let's see, blessing spells, and then wind walking makes it so we can go through rough terrain. I think moonwalk may be better for that one. Just get our Michael Jackson on here, sans child touching, because I don't condone that in the Nerd Castle. The Nerd Castle is fun for everybody, but not that kind of fun, kids. And so let's see. Oh, that's really tempting to cut this way. It really is. But I think my swirly method, giving Rajak a swirly, I think is the best way to do this. It's both demeaning and it gets the job done. So there's been a diplomatic change. Rajak and King Lich have made peace, so that's a little bit of pressure off Rajak. Either way, though, we'll be fine. King Lich is captured Geladuram. That seems like a very Lord of the Ringsy type name. But that looks like the end of this turn, so we got a lot done in this. We got a lot done in this episode of our Let's Play, so I'm pretty happy with it. My name is Splattercat, and once again, I'm going to ask that if you enjoyed the channel, go ahead and check out the Facebook that's linked on the channel page. Additionally, check out the Twitter. I post all my updates both through there, and actually the Facebook is where I post updates about whether I'm sick and things of that nature. I do wish that YouTube had a little more functionality as a blog, where I could be like, hey guys, I'm sick, no video today, and it would send it to like all 900 or how many there are of you. That would actually be a huge ease of access thing for me. But anyways, this episode is going to be called to a close. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time when we play Warlock Master of the Arcane once again. I'll see you guys there. Take care out there, everybody.